This is the one Sunday during the year that we focus on giving, sharing our resources, our gifts of time, talents, and treasure. Yes, that means money. Now, before you decide to tune me out, let me share that I'm hoping to keep this light and fun, yet meaningful. That's the challenge. Light and fun, yet meaningful. And I've set that for me today, and I started off by deciding to call this Up UUrs. Up UUrs. All right, the name of this song that I'm going to sing for you all with my lovely voice, it's to the tune of the caissons keep rolling along. It's the expenses, meaning our expenses here at UUFS, keep rolling along. Every day, every week, we don't even have to peak, 'cause expenses keep rolling along. You can say that line with me for me. Pay for heat, pay for light, it continues day and night. Those expenses keep rolling along. It's like ABC, we deplete the treasury, hoping our pledges don't go wrong. So you all must know we surely need your dough, 'cause expenses keep rolling along. Thank you. All right. Now, I got the idea from this Up UUrs sermon, to call it Up UUrs, a couple of weeks ago when I was installed at our congregation down in Brunswick as their halftime minister. Reverend Bill Phillips was the person that gave the charge to the congregation. Now, he's their retired minister, their minister emeritus, and he charged them on how they were to be supportive of me. And he said, I've got 3 up words for you all to think about as you're supportive of Jane. He told them he wanted them to pay up, show up, and stand up. Pay up, show up, and stand up. And I thought, well, that's kind of a nice 3 words. And I just adopted those to say this is how we should be for our congregation. This is what I would propose that we all do. We pay up, we show up, and we stand up. So let's look a little bit at those. Now, I guess you may have heard about the $100 bill, the $20 bill, and the $1 bill. They were at the end of their life. Now, you know the government at the end of the life, when they get all old, shreds them. So they were standing before the shredder. And the $100 bill was bragging, telling everywhere he had been. Oh, he says, I've been to Europe, I've been on Caribbean cruises, I've been to Asia, and I've been all these wonderful places. I just really have, and it was wonderful. Well, the $20 bill said, well, I can't say that I've done those things, but I've been to casinos, and I've went out to the West Coast, and I've been to New York City, you know. And the $1 bill was feeling kind of bad, but he'd been a lot of places too. He says, well, I have been all over this country as well. I've been from church to church to church to church, all from place. Church to church to church. The $100 bill said, what's a church? So it's true that sometimes we are not as generous with our giving to our congregations as we are to some other things in our lives, and especially Unitarian Universalists. Now, let me give you a couple of facts here. Fact number 1, among major denominations, did you know that Unitarian Universalists have the 2nd highest household incomes among the major denominations when they measure that? The 2nd highest household incomes. Now, I know what you're wondering. Who's number 1? What would you guess? Episcopalians. Episcopalians. Okay. Our neighbors down the street. We can ask them to send some of it this way. The Episcopalians had the first highest, but we have the 2nd highest household incomes in the United States. Now, here's fact number 2. Among major denominations, Unitarian Universalists are dead last in their giving to their congregations. Dead last. Why? Why? Well, I pondered on that a little bit, and I can think of a few things. 1, UUs don't need to buy themselves into heaven or out of hell. We don't have to pay it off, you know, those indulgences and things like that. So, UUs and many others live with a consumerist mindset. We pay for goods and services. Since we may not come every Sunday or use all the benefits of membership, we feel no obligation to pay. But on the other hand, I was thinking about this, even if we were living like consumers and we paid for what we got, we don't do that either, because you get some good fair trade coffee that Jim fixes for you every Sunday morning. What's that going to cost you at Starbucks? Think about that. You get a pretty good service, an hour's worth of some things that are pretty informative and entertaining maybe and helpful. You know, if you went to a class for that, what would you pay for that? Your children have good teaching going on. What would you pay for that? Good child care, what would you pay for that? Even if we had a consumerist mindset, even if we just paid for what we got, we probably should do better than we're doing. But we shouldn't have that kind of mindset. It's not a pay for what you get, it's an investment. So here's another reason. We UUs give generously to many other charities. We are generally generous people. So we feel it's unnecessary to give much to UU. And then perhaps we just aren't that committed or just don't care. Therefore, we don't share. But some do give generously. Some do give generously. I asked one person that I knew that gave generously why she did, and this is what she said. I truly consider membership in our congregation as a family I've been able to choose as opposed to one's blood relatives. It is imperative that I financially support and nourish my chosen family, toward maintaining its vitality and well-being. How rewarding it is for me to believe that my contributions help to sustain a place where religious beliefs or lack of them are each family member's choosing. So we are a family here. We are our chosen family. And just as you do what you do to nurture and protect and support your own biological family, your own family at home, then we do so with our chosen family. So we do have needs. We at this congregation have needs. There are a lot of examples. Here's one. We don't have much storage space here. Now, we did the best we could with this building. Janice is smiling about that because she has really been working on this, about getting rid of stuff, trying to reorganize it, but we have very little storage space here, especially for some outdoor things we might need. But we don't have the money in our budget right now to get a little storage house or something else, you know. If we had it, we would. That's one example of how we're trying to deal with some things. There are many, many others. We would love to be able to have some more money come into our music program. We've got some other folks we could hire here to really make even more wondrous things. Robert's doing a great job. We could do other kinds of things. There are things we could do for our kids, things we could do as we reach out to the community. Now, we do have a good treasurer. He's not here today, but Bill Herring is someone that I greatly admire. We were very fortunate to get someone with that kind of financial knowledge that knew how to sharpen his pencil. He can make it really sharp. And he has worked with our budget continuously. When we've had to cut, he has helped us to figure out ways that we could cut that would make minimal differences. And we are so very, very grateful for Bill. When you see him, please share with him that. Some of you don't even realize that we've made any cuts. You don't see them because we found ways to cover it that makes it okay to deal with some of these hardships. But we have had them. Bill recently was this is not Bill. This is the strong man. He was recently, last year when he went out to the fair that they had, the Geechee Fair, they had a strong man sideshow. You know how they had these sideshows. So Bill went in to see the sideshow, and he was in there, and the strong man did all his tricks, showed him all that he could do. Then one of the things the strong man showed him a demonstration, he took a lemon and cut it in half, and he took his big strong arm and squeezed all of the juice out of the lemon. He said, now I'll give $50 to any of you that could get a little bit more juice out of this lemon. Well, two big old country boys came up and tried to do it. Nothing came out. Bill Herring said, what about an older man like me? What would you do if somebody like me could squeeze some juice out of that lemon? He said, for you, old man, I'll give you $100. Bill walked up there. He took that lemon and squeezed it, got not one, not two, but three more drops came out of that lemon. Well, they were amazed that Bill was able to do that. And the strong man said, how in the world were you able to do that? Bill said, I've had lots of practice. I'm the treasurer at the UU church. So, yes, indeed. So we say, pay up, you know. Not all of us have the means to do a little more, but some of us do, and we have those needs, and we encourage you to consider giving a meaningful gift to this congregation that means so much to many of us. We want you to think about that. I'm not going to ask for it today, but I'm going to give you the cards today as you leave. Make a meaningful investment in this community of love. The next thing that I'm borrowing from Bill Phillips was show up. Show up. Now, I'm preaching to the choir here, because even after you've had a week like we've had, and a storm like we've had, you're here. Others that could not make it probably because of traveling and things, but you are here. And Woody Allen says that 80% of success is showing up. I don't normally quote Woody Allen in church, but I like this saying. I don't know how he gets that 80%, but maybe he's about right, that 80% of success is showing up. I know anecdotally that if I show up, if I go stand where I'm going to go for my walk around the circle or go to the gym, if I just get there, just get myself there, then the magic will happen, and I will do what I need to do to get physically better. But I have to get there. Folks that come to meditation may not think, well, I don't think I need it today. But if they'll just get there, the magic will happen. The same thing's true of church. You think, well, you know, I don't think I need it today. Well, you may not need it, but somebody else may need you, you know? So get here, just show up, and then the magic can happen. The magic of us healing and loving and nurturing one another so we can go out into the world. June Hackle, who did not show up today because she's in Claxton and perhaps the travel was a little much, but I'll share with you what she had in our recent newsletter about her showing up. And you know, the Hackles do, even though they travel, they show up almost every Sunday. She says, sometimes I really don't want to go to church. There are a lot of reasons. I don't like the announced topic, stayed up too late watching bad sci-fi movies on Saturday night, really need to clean my house, or just don't want to put on makeup, get in the car, and head to Statesboro for 6 days in a row. She also works over here. Maybe it's the residual Baptist in me, or I hear my mama's voice in my head telling me I need to get up and get going, but I usually go, and I am usually glad that I did. Why? Because I always take something away with me from physically being at church. I may not like the topic, but I learn from listening to others' opinions. I may be raccoon-eyed from staying up too late, but I am loved and appreciated and hugged and listened to despite my appearance. Church isn't a building. It's people who care. It's hearing something in afterthoughts that makes me think differently. It's talking and hugging and getting hugged. It's hearing my voice blend with others and singing a beautiful song. It's sharing coffee and conversation, and maybe cake too. Love is the reason I go to church, to feel it, to give it, to spread it. Yes, this is a place where you can go and get that love to spread around to others. Now, we Unitarian Universalists are a diverse bunch, but we come here together, and even through our differences, we love one another. Even though we're very different in many ways, maybe our theologies are different, maybe our backgrounds are different, we have a UU culture of sorts, don't we? We have some common things, and that's why we like to get together, to get with others who have some common ideas and common things. There is a UU culture of sorts. So what is that UU culture? Well, I borrowed on Jeff Foxworthy's You Might Be a Redneck, and here are some things where you might be a Unitarian Universalist if you come under any of these. You can share that with me. Say, you might be a Unitarian Universalist. You might be a Unitarian Universalist. All right, I'll give the things to you, then you share that. If you are unsure about the gender of God, you might be a Unitarian Universalist. If you begin your prayers with, to whom it may concern, you might be a Unitarian Universalist. If you gave up pot in the 70s because no one could guarantee it was organic, you might be a Unitarian Universalist. If your teens rebel by becoming more conservative, you might be a Unitarian Universalist. If you get Newt Gingrich confused with the Grinch who stole Christmas, you might be a Unitarian Universalist. If you've ever been in an argument over whether or not breast milk is vegan, you might be a Unitarian Universalist. And last, if your children think that the Holy Trinity is reuse, reduce, and recycle, you might be a Unitarian Universalist. And if you fit in any of those, this is where you need to come be with like folks. So show up. The next one is stand up. That's the last era. Stand up. We pay up, show up, and stand up. Now I'm thinking of stand up in two ways. One is through our volunteering. In addition to your financial support and being here, we need you to volunteer. We have loads of ways you can serve in this congregation, and we're going to ask you to give us that information when we canvass for it. Plus, you may have ideas that we haven't even thought about of some way that you can assist us in this congregation to spread our loving message of love. So just let us know when we do that. Let us know. So stand up by volunteering here and by volunteering in the community with UUFS. And the other way that I think we need to stand up is stand up in the community and beyond on issues and values important to us. Some folks can't stand up, and they need for us to stand up with them on those issues that are important to us. So, up, UUrs. Pay up, show up, stand up. Pay up, show up, stand up. That would be so lovely. This is my Liza Doolittle hat, and I'm going to close with a song. All I want is a church right here, filled with folks who are full of cheer, with fun so we won't fear. Oh, wouldn't it be lovely? Lots of coffee for us to drink, lots of programs to make us think, some cash to fix the sink. Oh, wouldn't it be lovely? Oh, so lovely giving to support the fellowship. We'll give freely so the board won't have to use a whip. We will give till we feel real good, doing more than we thought